Some people do know what they want.
Some.
Very few. But like I was someone who just knew that I wanted to help people. And that was something that I definitely would say is a fear of mine. Something that kind of kept me in a hospital care or kind of leaded me towards that because I wanted that stability. And entrepreneurship is not that.
No.
At all.
No, if you are a perfectionist.
Because we're just so
Fired up
hyped up
it.
about this.
It does hold you back being a perfectionist. I know that. Luckily, I'm not a perfectionist, so.
I think we're rolling, guys. Yeah.
Everybody, welcome to Life of Friends podcast. I'm Alex, one of your hosts.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Miguel, your other co-host, and today we have a guest. Go ahead, Amy. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Amy Thompson. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Happy to be
cheers.
here.
Awesome, Amy.
So kind of a tradition here on our podcast. Well, it was a tradition. We're going to bring it back now, where we pretty much take a shot, just to kind of loosen up a little bit.
I may or may not have asked.
Yeah.
I may or may not have asked.
Do we still have this? Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Podcast.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming in, Amy.
Thank you.
I'm excited for this.
That's pretty good, huh?
Nothing like a good beep.
Shout out Sosi
Oh, that is
for
good.
these shot glasses.
I love this tequila. But we're not sponsored by them yet, so we can't mention them
Okay.
until they sponsor us.
All right. Yeah.
Don't bring it up.
Those
All
are
right,
cool
Amy.
shot glasses.
Well, welcome to our podcast. This is
Yeah.
our first setup this way, by the way. So you're our first guest
Awesome.
in this beautiful setup.
First
I love
podcast
it.
in this setup.
I really love it. The table is pretty rad.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Someone that doesn't know you. Obviously, we know you a little bit, but I'm excited to get to know you a little bit on a deeper level
Yeah.
Exactly.
as well. But yeah, let's start off with what do you do currently? And
Okay.
then let's bring it back to how you grew up, and then we'll go from there.
All right. Well, I am a registered dietitian
Okay.
and a nutrition and fitness coach. I grew up in Riverside, California, born and raised.
Riverside.
Riverside, mother.
And yeah,
There we
so
go. I love that.
I've lived in California all my life, and then moved out to Orange County about 3 years ago. Kind of hopped around.
That's not that long ago. For some
Not
reason, I
that
thought it was
long.
way more than that.
No.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Moved out to Irvine, then Fullerton, and then back home, and then to Long Beach, and then here. So I just kind of
Okay.
jumped around a bit,
Just
but
hopped around a
always
little,
knew
yeah.
that I needed to be out here.
Yeah. No, this
So.
is the place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how I met you from our previous jobs
Right.
and whatnot. Well, your previous job, not my job. Still my job today.
Yeah.
But
A
yeah,
podcast?
Good place.
What?
This is your job.
Right.
This is what you're doing.
This
This is all you do.
This is all I do. Is
This
just
is
podcast.
all we do.
I hired
yeah.
you for a reason, Alex. Fuck,
Right.
man. Jesus Christ. This guy.
There's a reason
Who
why.
do you think you are?
Exactly.
So you grew up in Riverside. Were you there most of your life till you were about 18?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. Went to school there. Grew up, I wouldn't say in the SDA church, but I went to private school all my life.
What's SDA church?
SDA is Seventh-day Adventist.
What is that?
So you go to church on Saturday.
Okay.
It's a little different. For me, I'm non-denominational Christian.
Okay.
But my parents wanted to keep me in private school, so
Okay.
kind of led down that path and graduated from Loma Linda Academy.
Okay.
And then my first school was college.
Which
So
was
can
what
you
college?
imagine how that was? Cal State San Bernardino,
Okay.
CSU.
San Bernardino. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know much about
That area.
that area
Yeah.
at all.
Honestly,
the
I mean,
desert.
I was born and raised in Orange County, but I've never really heard of
Really?
CSU.
I mean, it's not too far, but
It's not.
yeah.
What is it, like
well,
an hour,
it's
an hour
you know,
away?
Orange County is kind of like LA. Like if you're in LA, like you don't care about the other places around.
Around you?
That's
Right?
true.
And
So
San
it's just like
Bernardino-
you're in the place to be. So
Right.
like
Same
you're
with
not
Orange.
going to be going to.
It's next to LA, isn't it? It's like super. Is it?
It's closer to like on the way to Palm Springs.
Oh shit! The complete opposite then.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
It's
okay.
inland.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, that tells you how.
Right.
How much I've
You're
been
a
around,
little
huh?
bubble here.
Yeah.
But
I'm
yeah.
in the bubble of Orange County.
Right.
This is it.
Honestly, I just go to San Diego and that's it, man. I'm going to TJ.
I love San
That's all I
Diego,
do.
but-
Yeah.
Okay, so pretty much 18, you were in that school, and then you went to college, private college. What were you studying?
Well, I was in private college.
Okay.
Cal State San Bernardino. So I initially went in to study physical therapy. I was wasn't sure. I was one of those people that didn't know what they wanted to do, so I kind of struggled with trying to figure out, some people do know what they want.
Some.
Very few. But like I was someone who just knew that I wanted to help people. I wanted to enjoy what I wanted to do and then make a good living out of it. So started off physical therapy, and then 2 years in, decided I was going to switch over to dietetics, nutrition science.
Okay, so after 2 years you switched over.
Yeah.
And then the last 2 years you focused on?
Last 4 years.
The last 4 years, okay.
Yeah.
Because you had to do a whole switch.
A whole
switch.
Like,
pretty much start from zero.
Not so much, because they're both related. I mean, a lot of the prerequisites, anatomy, physiology, you're learning about the body. It was an easy transfer, but I think with the CSU school system, they were doing budget cuts, and it was hard to get classes. I was competing with the nurses and doctors that were going to that school too, so I was taking the same classes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it kind of slowed it down a little bit, but once I got going, it was good.
So you became a dietitian, registered dietitian, right?
Yeah.
Through schooling, and then right after that, did you got a job, or like what did you do?
Yeah. I got lucky. So the dietitian path is difficult.
Okay.
Very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
So what you have to do is get your degree in it, and then you have to get matched to an internship, which is very competitive. So in my class, when I was in school, my director was like, out of 80 of you, only 5 of you will probably get in. And so what you need to do is like get a 3.8 minimum GPA. You need to kill it.
Okay.
And then actually like get our name up there. Like she wanted to make sure like we were one of the top schools.
Yeah, top, of course.
So I was like, okay, well, this is what I have to do. I had no other option. So studied my ass off. And I was one of so out of the 80 people in our class, I was one of the 5.
Well, congrats on that.
Yeah.
That's tough.
It was tough.
Great. I suck at schooling. So even if it was like school about freaking entrepreneurship, I would still suck at it. Doesn't matter.
Is it because of the way you teach, or you're just not interested?
I just suck at school.
I feel like it's just for some people, like some people are just, you don't need school to do certain jobs. And then some you do. And for me, part of me kind of battles with it. I'm like, man, it was such a long road to go down that, and I feel like, but I needed it for to put me in the position that I am now, and feel confident that like I know my shit.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But for some jobs, like owning your own business, you don't need to go to school.
Depends what business. It does
give you an edge.
It gives you an edge. I wouldn't say it's like it doesn't bring you down. It's always a plus if you're able to go to school and then do all that stuff, right?
Especially if you want to be self-employed. I feel like it adds like stripes on your belt, right? So now that you're self-employed, which we'll talk about further or later on in the podcast, I think somebody that hires you pretty much is going to feel a lot more comfortable with your background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm not paying this person that has zero clue of what she's doing, right?
Right.
She actually has a background towards it, and she's worked to be where she's at now.
Yeah.
You can always ask for more too.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had this job, got this internship, obviously. Then you got like a pretty well-paying job.
Well, I mean, there's different areas in dietetics.
Okay.
So in the internship, you learn different jobs that dietitians can do. There's 3 main areas. There's medical, community, and food service. Okay. So, I tapped into the medical side, but I had to also get hours, a whole year, basically, working for free, not making a dime. I actually had to pay $10,000 to do it. Oh. Which is
nice.
Crazy.
You're paying $10,000 to work.
To work for free.
Where do I sign up?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Can I just walk in there and be like, hey, can I pay you $10,000?
Insane. I was like...
And you get paid for me working, and then I learn?
Yeah. Weirdest thing, but that's what the path is.
I love it.
So, got experience in eating disorders, cancer, HIV, what else? Managing school districts.
Okay. A bunch of different things.
Community centers, WIC. I mean, there's a sports nutrition, women and children.
Oh, okay.
Nutrition.
I like that, which is, I'm sure, completely different.
Yeah.
Very specific,
Nice.
very
I
specific.
like that.
Yeah.
So I know that you worked at Hoag Hospital at one point in time, right? So was that like, what, I'm trying to build a timeline, I guess, right? So you went to school, blah, blah, 6 years of your time. So you're 18 all the way to 20, can't do math. I'm trying to do math.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not throw numbers out there.
Yeah, we don't need to
We don't need to throw numbers
You don't
out there.
age myself.
Yeah.
You're young, Amy. We're all
You
young.
are.
Okay?
Young at heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all young. Okay, so
Yeah.
timeline, and then you started working at Hoag Hospital at one point.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So I would say 5 years in, I've worked 5 years in the hospital, but ended up
That's a long time.
solidified my skills, but ended up at Hoag Hospital, which is amazing. I mean, that's
One of the
prestigious hospitals, and worked alongside some of the best dietitians in the country.
Would you say you learned a lot?
Totally.
Okay.
I mean, that was next level. Like, they actually put you through, like, not a probation, but like a real training program. And throughout the year, you had to like write a part of their book that they had.
Gotcha.
So yeah, definitely stepped up my game. And some of the dietitians there, I mean, they were writing books. Like,
Yeah, they're just
Next
on,
level.
on a next level.
Yeah.
Which you learned a lot, I'm sure.
Totally.
A lot of experience.
Very
yeah, so...
And then how did it go? Like, you obviously not at Hoag Hospital anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, I loved Hoag Hospital.
Uh-huh.
I learned a lot, and it was a accomplishment that I was proud to obtain. But COVID happened.
Okay.
Yeah, COVID happened, and I think Hoag did a really good job at taking care of their people, but we still felt it.
Yeah.
100%.
Hospitals got hit the hardest, obviously.
We got hit the hardest, and we had to put ourselves on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what COVID did for a lot of people, not just people in the hospital, hospital work, it helped like put a perspective there, right?
Totally,
of like,
totally.
Is this what you want to do? Is this what is going to make you happy? And like, I knew before I wanted to have my own business.
Yeah.
And so just working the hospital was just a part of my journey to get confidence, get experience, and all of that. And at that point,
you can also say you probably got like comfortable too, right? Because you were getting paid nicely.
Right.
You're the best hospital. So you're like, I'm going to keep working years after years after years. And then obviously COVID happened.
Yeah, COVID happened, and I was like, I don't want to be in a COVID-infested building anymore.
Yeah, smart.
Like, I learned what I found out what I had to find out.
Yeah.
I learned what I needed to learn, and yeah, it was time to go out on my own.
Okay. And then you became a personal trainer?
Personal trainer. So I actually got certified as a personal trainer right after my RD exam. So I had been certified for 6 years until then.
Okay.
And my first hospital job, I had actually trained at 24-Hour Fitness. So I was working. Yeah, I was working a lot. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was doing my shifts, and then I was like, I still love movement. I used to be into physical therapy, and I was like, the next best thing is doing training. So did that, and then I soon realized after all those hours I was working, I was like 14, 16-hour days is just not it. And it was 5 days a week, not like 3 or 4, And
you're working for someone else.
Working for somebody else. Exactly. So,
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, you have that mindset. Right. You're like, it's a struggle already if you're working for somebody else, right? So having that, I was like, let me just go private with the personal training. Let me tap into the online space, but then still work at the hospital and get those skills down.
Okay. I like that COVID pretty much. I feel like I'm the same way too. Like when COVID happened, I just feel like there was such a switch. Like I was working at partying, working at a restaurant, all that stuff. And I knew I wanted to be like business and stuff like that. I just never fully went forwards with it. And then when COVID happened, it just made you stop and think. I was like, man, is this what I want to do? Like when everything comes back, like I want to go back to this, or do I want to do more, right? Do I want to work for myself? Do I want to build something?
Yeah. It kind of put the fire under your butt.
Huge fire. Right? Huge fire. I mean, like I said, I feel like if we met each other.
Sorry. Funny term.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have a goal and you're like, if the world is going to end in a few years, we didn't know.
You feel the pressure.
Yeah, you're like, is this what I want to do
for the rest of my life?
For the rest of my life?
Yes.
Or whatever else time I have? Like, let me actually do what I set out to do.
I actually think that, at least me and you, I don't know about you two, but if we met, us two, in like 2018, 2019, I don't think we would be as close.
Really?
Because I think yeah, it would be close, but I feel like my mindset was way different, like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't the way I am now. And I feel like maybe you were not the same way either. I don't know.
2018.
Because you were working the hospital job.
I was working the hospital job. I mean, I still had that desire to build my own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was focused in that. Like, you have to be.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, I think as for me, since we're interviewing everybody in this table, I want to say my part. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
no, I'm teasing.
You guys said a little
No,
closer,
that's great though. I know.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't see you. I see a text from Jensen. Sit closer.
I moved it already. Yeah. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'm ahead of you, buddy. But man, that's awesome. So
Yeah.
so you learned. I mean, what do you have? Like 10 years under your belt now? Because we were going off in 6 years.
2016 is when it all started.
2016.
Yeah,
okay.
it's when I graduated.
Gotcha.
And got registered. And then.
So a solid 7 years now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wow.
man.
Congrats.
Yeah,
That's
I've been saying
amazing.
6 years for so long now. Yeah, 7.
And you took this leap of faith recently to be self-employed. How long ago?
I mean, fully.
Like you were like, fuck it, I believe in myself, and I'm devoting all of my time.
2021 was the year.
2021 was the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
where
did
I
that-
left hospital care. That's when I left, and
Was that scary?
it
Like-
was.
No.
Like your family, your friends, or even yourself, like you went from a nice steady job to like all of a sudden like, oh,
Right.
I don't have this steady
Yeah,
income.
and that was something that I definitely would say is a fear of mine. Something that kind of kept me in a hospital care, or kind of leaded me towards that, because I wanted that stability, and entrepreneurship is not that
No,
at all.
not at all.
You know, so that's, I feel like, is kind of slowed me down a bit, is not having that stability, but knowing that, like, okay, there's a season for things, right? I had to move out to Orange County, had to pay down some debt. I needed to work for somebody else to kind of just make that happen. But 2021, had an opportunity that I felt would be a better fit to support me while I was building my business. I jumped into that and realized it wasn't the right fit, or it fell through after I left the hospital. So I kind of just, it wasn't the transition that I had hoped for.
That's
it
probably
wasn't
a lot.
smooth one. It was a lot.
Because
it was
like
tough.
you leave the hospital betting on yourself, and then another thing falls through, and you're like, man, did I do the right decision? Like,
Yeah.
and that takes a toll on someone.
Totally. Yeah. That was tough. I always knew that it was something that I wanted.
Yeah.
But it was just like, why does it have to be this way? Like, why did it have to happen this way?
That's entrepreneurship, though.
It is.
It's a roller coaster on its own.
It is. I was living on my own too, and with that happening, I knew I didn't want to go back. I was like, I already chose this path, and I could easily just go back, right, and just find another hospital job. But like, I need to commit. Like, this is what it is. This is being in.
I've gone this far.
I've gone this far.
I can't
I've made
turn
this.
back.
Yeah. This is what it means to be an entrepreneur. You have to make that choice.
You have to fully commit.
So I had to move back home. I had to do the humble thing and do that. And so yeah, that was tough. But that was when my business was born. So I invested what I had and built my business and built an app.
Your stuff is actually, like, I look at people's Instagram.
Yeah.
I actually I kind of keep track of like people's like posts and how they looks, and their like also their following and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Their
when
progress?
I just like to look at it just to like, oh, it means
What are they doing?
What are they doing? Like, is this working for them? Okay, cool. Like, good for them. Like, there must be something. But your content is dope.
Oh, thank you.
I was like, it's super nice. I was
Yeah.
like, I actually lost my train of thought right now.
I think what he's saying is he likes your transformation, what you've become over the past few years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, what I'm saying. Oh, here we go. Your app and all that stuff, and like the one you did just recently, you were like typing. You're giving them like meals. Like, I forgot what in your app you were doing. Like, you're doing more than like a normal fitness trainer does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you provide so much value to your clients. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it in the right way.
I
but
put a lot of time in it. a lot of time.
I forgot what recently you put on your story. Like, you did this for your clients. I was like, that's a lot of work.
I built, so recently in the last week, I put out a course.
Okay.
To kind of help support them in that, which I feel like the people that I was bringing on, I put them in the app so they can access all of their workouts, their meal plan and all that. And then I give them resources like, PDF form content that they can, learn things from. But after, coaching them, for some I'd realize, oh, you're not actually reading what I'm putting out there. You're,
they're
this
just
is
looking at it.
Yeah, you're just like, okay, cool. What do I need right now? Like it was a lot of information for them to take in. I'm like, let me, people have different ways of learning. I'm very visual, and I need to actually, there's kinesthetic learning too, and that I feel like that kind of taps into like doing a course and having like a goal to finish instead of just reading a book.
Step 2, Step 3.
Exactly. So I transformed what I had into a course that kind of walked them through into the steps, and that's going to evolve over time. But I feel like, especially if you're like, okay, like how do I set up my meal plan? Like, okay, let me walk you through how to do that. Instead
of like, here's a meal plan. And then now it's like, okay,
figure
like
it's
chicken and rice, but like, how do I cook the chicken? Like, how
right.
much chicken do I do?
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask Amy, so as a dietitian and a personal trainer, have you ever thought of doing like meal plans?
That's what I do.
For people? Mm-hmm. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
You already do this?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I jumped ahead and
you don't cook it though, right?
Beat you to it.
I don't cook it, but
I mean like genuinely like make the meals for someone and just like in bulk, right? And like distribute them.
I've thought about that as like an extension of what I do.
I think that would be great. Offer that to your customers.
Yeah. And there's some, like I've tapped into some meal prep companies. I partnered up with them for my coaching in-person business. But I do see the holes in some of like their structures of what they do. And like it's hard to customize their meals.
Meal prep is hard.
It is.
Meal prep business is freaking hard.
But as a dietitian, you know what you're doing. You know what to do. You know what the body needs, right? And then you're also their personal trainer. Therefore, you know how much body fat they have to lose. You know what to feed them. You're in their circle. You're pretty much closer than the random person out there trying to sell them random foods that have no idea what they're doing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like all these companies nowadays, I see them on social media all the time, but in reality, it's like they make you fill out a quiz, right? But as a person that person yourself, you don't know your body so well, you don't know what to fill out. You're like, what is this all about? What does my body need? What is all this? But you, on the other hand, you have all the knowledge already, and you can guide them through it, right? Like, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and train. Let's see your body fat percentage. Let's see, what you need most, what you need the least of, and kind of prefix those meals for that person and like make them fit just for their personal lifestyle.
And everybody is different. That's the thing is I've had someone that was, I mean, there's people that come to me that have known me for a while and they're like, they trust me. But if someone was off of the street, they're like, why can't I just go to Google and like find a meal plan? And I'm like, that's a good point to make. But how do you know that is actually good for you? Mm-hmm. You can use a meal plan, but actually gain weight. Or 100%. You can eat foods that your body will reject and will be allergic to. Like, we don't know what your body requires. And not only that, what if you're working out? What if you're not?
Your movements.
Yeah, your movement.
Your daily lifestyle.
There's a lot of things to consider. Mm-hmm. Not only that, but like family history, disease.
Some people don't even think about that stuff.
Yeah.
I think most of the people don't because they're oblivious to it, right? They have no idea that they have to. So they don't know what they don't know. Exactly. Which is when you come in, you know what I mean, and you help them out, which is what I'm saying. Like, I think if you were to have your own business aside of personal training in that aspect, I think you'd fucking kill it.
I'd love to do that. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, just, name it a catchy name. And
I've actually reached out to Alex a few months ago, like, hey...
I told her.
So you thought
do you
about
remember?
This?
You think about that?
Of course you have.
I told her that I thought about it, stuff like that. But I also told her like I've done the meal preps before, and I was like, that's a really hard business.
Yeah.
Like the
profit margin.
The profit margin and the work. Bro, I did 100 meals once.
Is this podcast easy for you, Alex?
Huh?
Is this podcast easy? Is your current business easy?
I love the motivation.
No, that's the thing. Like, this isn't easy. You think we were fucking ecstatic to like. you build this shit and like be here once a week, even when we're not feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, no.
Yeah, but have you done meal preps?
We'll still pull up.
It's a whole different game.
I feel like meal preps is the thing most people don't want to do. That's why nutrition is so hard.
Because the profit margin of meal preps is like $2 a meal. Like it's literally terrible. Mm-hmm. It's like what, you're charging $12 a meal, and that's still pretty expensive for a meal prep.
And were you doing like organic?
I was doing nice stuff.
Yeah.
And I was charging like $15, and I was like
and you were charging a lot too.
Yeah, it was doing well. It's just that by yourself, like I said, you'll have to find like a whole kitchen. You can't do it from your apartments, because where are you gonna store 100 meal preps?
Yeah.
Well, you know, there's places you can rent out for that, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And
you
like
can.
Vitamin shops and stuff.
No, they have like industrial kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That you can rent out for a couple of hours if you wanted to.
Yeah. I didn't discourage Amy, obviously. I just said I wouldn't do it. I don't think I would help Amy.
It provided insight, because I had never done that before. So I was like, oh, if the profit margin isn't.
Here's the thing.
But I still want to offer it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
Talk over you. I think the reason why your profit margins weren't the best was because you also didn't dabble too far into it, right? I think there's loopholes in every business, and I think that in this business, there should be a loophole somewhere around there, because just recently, this past year, I've seen at least 15 new companies that are doing meal preps now. And if it wouldn't be such a great business, then why are they starting it, right? I think fitness is a new cool. I think fitness is, in the next 5-10 years, it's going to evolve into something amazing, right?
Right.
I think in the States alone, I think we were one of the most obese countries in the world. I think now that rate has gone down significantly.
Oh, we still are, though.
And
we still are.
No, but it has gone down significantly. And I think in the next 5-10 years, it will even double or triple that.
Let's hope.
I think it will.
Yeah.
Because of people like you, which thank you for that. And I think it's amazing to, offer what you're offering to people that don't have knowledge that they're like us. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, for people that are listening right now, like, what would you suggest for them to do to, like, start off? Like, what would be the thing that they need to do to start their fitness journey or their weight loss journey?
Hire Amy.
Come check my Instagram,
but
learn some things.
Yeah, drop your IG.
Everybody's different. They have different goals. It could be if they have weight loss, if they're trying to gain weight, if they just want to get fit.
Just in general.
But in general, just sign up for a gym membership. Get in it. If you need to follow someone to do that, follow some workouts just to kind of get your feet wet. But obviously, hiring a coach is the best way to go.
Let's say they have social anxiety and they don't feel comfortable in the gym.
Good one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's the hard part for everybody. For one that's not in the fitness thing or that hasn't worked out at all, getting into the gym and being so like intimidated by everything and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
What?
And I think for especially girls, too, it could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean Gabby, before now she could go to the gym by herself, but before she was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just gonna go over to the treadmills and do cardio.
I'll do some body weight stuff in this corner. Like, I don't know what to do, but so I guess what would be your advice?
If you had social anxiety,
she's like, go to therapy.
Well, no, I mean that's one thing, because I used to deal with that. But I still went to the gym, so do what you can at home.
Okay.
Find a program that you can do at home. Start off with body weight. Yeah. Just move.
Right.
Just move.
Right.
Do what you can with what you have. And then over time, as you get confident in your abilities, then move to the gym. Yeah. Okay. I have programs that are home based, but I always try to get them into the gym.
Of course.
Let's move there, because there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
And you can get results at home, but
it's
the gym is where it's not the same.
Plus, having your that journey, the fitness thing, be separate from your home is a big thing, because now you're in once you get into it, you're focused and you're enjoying that journey to the gym, right?
Right.
Walking to the gym or driving to the gym, oh, I'm gonna get a workout. I'm gonna motivate myself.
Well, then you're inspired by other people too.
Exactly.
And then it only adds to your confidence. If once you get to the gym, then you have to build that confidence to be in the gym and feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing here.
Right.
Then there, you'll have a good journey.
Okay. Amy, we're going to go to our segment here, the What's Your Vive segment. Vive means to live. So Life of Friends is presented by Vive the brand. First question. What fulfills you outside of your daily life, right? Outside of your fitness training, outside of your personal training, your business, what fulfills you?
What fulfills me? I would say I'm fortunate to have built a life where my work is fulfilling.
Okay.
So I don't feel like I have to look too far to do that, right?
I like that answer.
I'm glad that, I help people live better lives.
Yeah.
I change people's lives. And that is something I love to do. So I'm glad that I've put myself in that place to do that. But if I were to say outside of that, just having, building memories with my friends and family. Yeah.
Okay. But I like that answer where pretty much like you set yourself in that position where your work and everything that you do already fulfills you. So you don't need to look outside of it, which is amazing. Yeah. Which I think should be like pretty much everyone's goal in life.
It kind of goes down to that quote. What is it? Like, if you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like I work, but I am very fulfilled.
But you're enjoying it.
Yeah, totally.
You're enjoying the entire process of it all.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And doing things with my family and friends, like that could look like traveling or music festivals, going to see music. I mean, you'll see me at my happiest if I'm at a music festival, just in that whole vibe.
I remember you went to I think like a concert or something, like, I don't know when, but then I remember you came back, you're like, oh, it was so nice.
Still on that high.
You're still on that high. You're like, I just had such a good time.
I think I went to go see Coast Contra in LA as a rap group.
And I think at that time you were like, you're just overwhelmed with a lot of things. And so when you went, you're like, you were just so happy. You're like, you just took off social media, not focused on your business, and you were just like enjoying your time.
Yeah, I need to escape. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. What are your short-term and like long-term goals? You can start with whichever you want first.
Okay. Short-term is just building my business, building what I have now. I've been blessed to say the first few months of 2023 were very successful, that I felt comfortable.
I'm going to give a clap for that.
Yeah.
We're in February?
We're in February.
So to say it's already, that's amazing.
I'd say January was the most money I made in a month.
Damn.
Where I felt like I can do this. Like,
let's go.
I'm making moves. Yeah. Let's make the jump. So, used to work at the restaurant with you and felt like, okay, I paid down some bills. Let me go for this.
I remember having those conversations. It was in the car when you would, pick me up and you were like, oh, maybe I should keep it 1 day or 2 days. And I was like, no.
No, I know.
I was like, are you doing
fully
it?
Commit.
I was like, are you doing it because you want that extra money? Then it's okay. And she was like, you pretty much said like, no, just because I just want to keep it for like the socializing and whatnot. Right, and like also because you're used to it.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, well, if
a little bit of stability.
Yeah. It's like, well, if you don't need that money from it, that extra money, then don't do it. Don't need it.
Yeah. Well, I had to jump into doing, I'm very comfortable with the online space. Yeah. But I also, nothing compares to training in person and coaching in person. But transitioning from being in a hospital and doing dietetics and then doing fitness coaching, there's a sales aspect to it that I'm not fully comfortable with, and not that I feel super salesy, but it is something that I need to develop, because I'm there to help people. I'm not here to make, thousands of dollars off of you. It's more, but that is a conversation that needs to be had. Like, this is how much it's going to cost.
Yeah. You got to be straight up with your clients. Like,
yeah. And that's something that's like, especially if like you tell me what your problems are, how much it means to you, I attach myself to that. And I'm like, this is what you need to do that. But this is what it's going to cost. And that part is not the most comfortable for me because I do want to help people, but I also need to make a living.
You also need to realize what your worth is, right? Like
100%.
You're putting all this work. You 100%. Have all this degrees and whatnot. You put in the work. So like asking for this is like, I think you also gotta believe in yourself that like, I am worth this price.
Yes.
And you gotta make people see that as well.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I feel like when I initially started, I kind of was trying to figure out my pricing and all of that, and I feel confident now, but I think I had to just get comfortable with people that don't know me very well. Mm-hmm. When it's like, I don't want to convince you that you need me. basically. Yeah. Maybe that's like an ego thing. It's like, I know my shit. Like, you know, right. So why am I having to convince you to do something that you feel like you need to do? But that's part of the coaching process too.
Yeah, so. You did say that, like, because the UFC gym and whatnot, that you're like, I have to work out there so I could like talk to more people and like kind of sell myself in a way. We were just talking about that recently.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And sometimes it comes natural.
Yeah.
But when it's your job and knowing that that's like a part of your job that you have to do, it's like when I go to the gym, I'm there to work.
Yeah.
I'm not there to meet people or to conversate. Like I have to get my shit in. But when you work at the gym, you have to make sure you tap in and get to know people. And so I'm just transitioning into that. And, you know, and they tell me like, you're going to have to work out here, you know, and I'm like, okay, so my workouts are going to be like 2-3 hours long now, I guess.
Yeah, because then you're like, oh, hey, how's it going, George? Good to see you
today. And it's not that I don't care. It's just like I'm just used to being a certain way in the gym.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, like
that makes sense.
Let me go over and try to correct your form.
Even though I'm trying to work out.
Even though it might be kind of rude, you just have to find a way to do it.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll develop it, and I'm sure, like you said, if you're putting it, like you're setting your mind to getting better at that skill, I'm sure by the end of the year you'll be freaking killer at it.
Yeah. And I think that's just one of the things that's just making the jump and feeling comfortable with it. Like I know that this is something that I have to just do, and if I do it now, the sooner it is going to be behind me.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like your short-term goal, right? Building all stuff. Long-term goal, what would that be?
Long-term goal.
Let's say, I don't know, how far can we go?
5-10 years.
Maybe more.
Oof.
I think 10 years is a good start.
10 years.
Yeah.
It would be based off of building on that. You know, whether that be having my own gym, you know, partnering with people to build that, or having a clothing line, having fitness accessories like booty bands or things like that for the girls. Like anything that will help build that brand is something that I'm interested in, and I feel like those for sure I'm definitely going to do. It just I think the gym feels a little distant from me right now, just because
though?
Like, man, it costs so much to invest in that, but I mean, there's no limits for me.
Hey, there's business.
That's true.
That's true. And if you're running a good business, then
I think just, I mean, a few months ago, if you asked me, I'm like, hell yeah. Right now, I'm so knee deep into what I'm doing. It's just kind of like, okay, I need to focus on this now. That's not even something I'm focused on at the moment. But once I grow in my business and build my community in that, definitely.
Plus, a lot of things, like we say it all the time, like a lot of things happens in 1 year. A lot of things happen in 1 month. Like, so, like, you know, like you might think this is not it, and then, like, I don't know, like a year later, you might, like, okay, this is it. Like, for us, like,
things move fast.
Getting an office.
If you're hyper focused.
I think it was just like November or October, we were just discussing of us getting an office space.
Yeah.
Like, just discussing.
November, December?
Yeah, we were just discussing it. Like, we're not even like, we're just discussing it. And then what? A month later, we got an office space.
I think we looked at like 2 spots and they were horrible, but you loved him. Because this guy, he's so optimistic, right?
Yeah.
He's very optimistic in everything. And like, we went into this spot. There was an office space, and this office space was like,
so bad.
Like 300 square feet at most. I'm being generous. You know what I mean? It was tiny. Like, I went in there and the room was empty, and I felt like claustrophobic. And Alex was like, no, bro.
How are we gonna fit everything?
And Alex was like, bro, we can make this work, bro. I'm telling you, I have the vision right now. I'm like, Alex, you want a fucking little coffee table right there, bro? And like 2 seats.
I love it.
But thankfully,
like, we'll make it work.
Thankfully, we didn't get that place. And then later on, towards the future, a mutual friend of ours reached out, and he's like, hey, you know what? I know somebody that has an office space that wants to go ahead and, you know, rent it out. You guys want to hit him up? And we reached out, and we got the space.
Wow.
But going back, like, things go quick. So, like, we were just thinking about it. Like, we didn't think it was gonna happen within like 2-3 weeks. I thought it was like 6 months later.
You never know.
It just happened quick.
Yeah.
Right. So, like I said, anything could happen.
But you have to be ready for it too, right? Okay, if you're not ready and it happens, then you lose the opportunity. So you have to make sure that you build up to that moment, and when that moment arrives, you just fucking snatch
100%.
Yeah.
But your story in that kind of just shows me, and that it's something that I've kind of put myself to motivate myself in, is messy action.
Messy action.
Just move in that direction.
Yeah, correct.
It doesn't need to be perfect.
No, never.
We're not shooting for perfection. If you try to, and for me, I'm a perfectionist, so that can slow me down.
Yeah.
If you don't,
That's him right here.
Tell me about it.
Right.
It makes me cringe when it's not perfect, right? It makes me feel the worst.
I was like, we just gotta go.
And
you feel like it's like your reputation.
He makes me feel better about it.
Yeah,
Always.
and that's good. You guys have a great partnership.
Yeah. But sorry, I didn't mean to
because if you are a perfectionist,
because we're just so hyped up about this.
It does hold you back being a perfectionist. I know that. Luckily, I'm not a perfectionist, so.
Not only does it hold you back, but it deprives you from doing things you want to do, right?
Because
you want to do them so perfectly, but it's like you can't do perfect if you don't do it, right?
Right.
And the thing is, perfect doesn't exist. Only improvising and making it better does exist, right?
Exactly.
So in order for you to get better and to like improvise what you're doing now is by starting. And if you're a perfectionist, you just don't start because you're like, I want it to be perfect. But guess what, dude? It's not going to be perfect. You know what I mean? Fucking jump out there, do it, and then make it better the next time. It really just comes down to that.
Well, you learn along the way and you make it better.
Yeah,
right?
That's what I'm saying.
Thinking about like, being perfectionist and whatnot, is there anyone that like inspires you? Like, is it a perfection? Like someone that's also a perfectionism, or someone that's like completely opposite of how you are, like that inspires you. And why does this person inspire you?
I wouldn't say there's one person.
Okay.
So you're saying there's two?
There's two.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, no, that kind of ties into what I was saying, but it would definitely be just surrounding myself with other people that are like-minded, right? People that are trying to just push themselves to be better, build better lives, entrepreneurs.
So just in general sense.
In general.
Like people that are trying.
Yeah, that are trying because there's an energy and there's a drive that pushes you that is different from everybody else. And only we know what the struggles are,
100%.
right? So you need to surround yourself with that because it gets hard. You'll have your seasons of like success and like this is working. And then others where you're like, should I be doing this?
It's like, what the fuck am I doing?
So definitely you guys. But I would also say what motivates me, and I've had a Q&A on my Instagram a few weeks ago, and someone asked me, like, what motivates you? What keeps you going with fitness and just building your business? And I was like, well, motivation is fleeting. Yeah. It comes and goes. You'll have your seasons of like, this is it. Like, I'm so fired up about it. And then other times life hits you and it gets hard. And so I depend on discipline. But before you can even get to that, you have to know what your why is. And I'm big on that. What is your why? Why are you doing this? And for me, I tap into like who I am in the future. Yeah. Who do I want to be? And what kind of life do I want to build?
So pretty much you're yourself. You're your own inspiration. Right. You in the future, right? Yeah. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love that.
I tap into and I kind of was saying like it's like a promise to yourself. I'm a woman of my word, and you are nothing without your word if you don't keep that.
100%.
Right? And so for me, I've been able to build a self-confidence by sticking to my word on myself. And so with that, like I don't give myself an option. This is what's going to happen. And I am that person. I just put myself in that place. Like if the environment needs to change for me to be closer to that, let me do that. Right? Let me leave that job. Yeah. Let me get that job. Let me, I want to start running more or, eat better. Let me meal prep. Let me do those things. I'm going to do it. I need to do those things. That's who I am in the future, right? Let me just put myself in that place.
That's hard. Okay. I feel like that's a lot, that's like more than discipline. That's like, I don't know what the word is.
No, it's discipline. It's discipline, but it's just it's a different form. It's a more
discipline is like a vehicle, but that's like your drive of like, this is where I'm going.
Yeah. I like that. That's cool. Yeah. Next question, Amy. If you died tomorrow, okay, would you be content or at peace of what you've achieved in life, the impact you've had on people?
If I died tomorrow, a part of me would say yes, okay. I'd be content. Yeah. Because I'm intentional with how I live my life.
Okay.
I'm focused on me. I do my own thing. I don't try to hurt people. And if I ever do, I make amends. So I can sleep at night and die knowing that I did okay, right? Okay. But a part of me is like, I'm not done yet.
Yeah, I have way more.
I have way more to accomplish.
Yeah.
So, and I think also, like, ultimately what I'm striving for is freedom. Freedom to help my family live like the life they want to live, spend more time together, connect, do things that we want to do.
Yeah.
And so I feel like with entrepreneurship, it's a little more difficult because you do have to sacrifice time with people that you love, right?
At first. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, your goal is to not be that way, but you do have to put a lot of time in. So I think right now I would want to spend more time. And that's what I'm trying to work on this next year is like say yes to things, to the invites that you get. Spend time with your family and friends.
That's actually
show up.
That's kind of my thing too. I've talked about it before too. Like, you know, people show up and stuff like that, but like, you know, when people invite you, like, don't always say no. Like maybe sometimes say yes.
You could be so driven, and I'm very much that. But it's like, okay, we need to balance a little bit.
Yeah, balance. You know what? I'm gonna show up this time. I'm gonna say yes. Let's have a good time. And then, you know, your thing. I like that. Miguel, any other questions?
No more questions. I think you got.
We're gonna go into the
rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire segment.
Oh shit!
Rapid fire.
These get serious.
Yeah, it's getting very serious.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
All right.
I would say maybe just exclude this one right here.
Okay. All right.
Clear the bottom.
Yeah. I see it. Okay. All right. Amy. Ooh. Was that you or me?
That was an earthquake.
Both of y'all.
I think it was both
of us because I went like this and you did too.
Yeah.
That's right. We're getting
Time to get started.
We're getting serious.
Fucking curl fitness, huh? God damn.
Right.
What are you guys putting in your water?
My table. All right, Amy. What would be your last meal if you died?
Tacos.
What type of tacos, actually?
There's only one kind of fucking taco, Alex.
What do you mean? What type of meat?
Oh, meat. Oh, God.
What kind of taco are you
bad,
thinking
player.
about?
I was thinking like Taco Bell.
Oh, hell
like
no,
one spot.
No.
I was gonna say, bro. There's only one.
Never.
There's only a soft taco out there, bro. It's a hard shell taco. Get your ass out of here, bro.
You said carne asada? Carne asada. Okay. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Honestly, I'd have to go with al pastor, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Tijuana has some of the best al pastor tacos, bro.
I don't go there very often to have tacos, but
really,
no,
you're missing out. It's just an hour.
Really,
and a half
you've never
away.
been?
It's literally an hour and a half away from here. Like, if you wanted to go to LA, go to fucking Tijuana instead. Get some fucking tacos and just walk around like Baja California or something. You know what I mean? Just somewhere around there. It's fucking nice, dude. It's sick. It's like a little getaway on its own.
Yeah.
And it's only 2 hours away.
If that.
Exactly.
Right.
What would be your superpower?
Superpower. I used to want to like read people's minds, but I feel like that would not be like not be a good thing.
That?
No. I that's switched.
That would kill you.
Yeah. No, because then you learn something that you probably wouldn't want to know, or like what if they thought about
That's what
something?
I'm saying.
Yeah,
They'd kill you. No, you don't want that.
No, I'd rather fly.
Fly, yeah, 100%.
Because I love
what
to
would be yours?
I love to travel.
Teleportation.
Dude, yes, teleportation, bro.
I guess
Fucking teleport. Just
I
think
could
of
be anywhere.
Yeah, same here.
That is a little quicker than flying.
Yeah.
And you can save so
I would
much
just
time.
think of a place and just be there. Imagine, bro.
You
Like,
probably fly like, what, 5 miles per hour?
even if you fly at 200 miles an hour, we still got there quicker.
Who knows? Yeah. Good views, though.
Favorite muscle to work out?
Legs. I love back and shoulders, though. I've kind of switched over, but legs are always king.
Legs are great.
Yeah.
You know what? I have a love and hate relationship with legs.
Miguel does have a love and hate. I love doing legs.
I love legs, but I hate
the
like
soreness.
the 30 minutes after because I just feel dead. I feel like I want to go to home and just lay down.
Yeah.
I love that though.
Well, like quads or hamstrings.
Well, here's the thing. I don't like.
You don't like
which I should, but I think mostly glutes.
Oh,
I think glutes are the ones. Yeah, those are the ones that really do it for me.
So you do glutes? That's good.
Of course.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I show up to the gym and Miguel's just doing those
the booty builders.
Those booty builders the entire time.
The hip thrust.
Yeah. Well, he can tell Alex does them every single day.
Yeah.
It's not sometimes that I walk into the gym.
Does he need them though? I don't know. Is that the secret, Alex?
That's what he does. That's where he.
No secret to a big booty. Amy actually has. Amy has a big booty. Actually, before we go to the finish rapid fire, sorry, just at your table. Your rapid fire question. You posted a picture, and I was with Gabby, of your transformation of like your body. Like people listening, how do you do that? Like you went from like no butt to a butt.
Right.
BBL.
Yeah.
Is it a BBL or is it real?
I can show people you don't have to get that. Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, that before picture, I was very like skinny and lanky and wasn't eating very much.
Okay.
Wasn't healthy there. But yeah, that has been my transformation over just learning all the things, right?
Not just working out, food, everything.
Food, eating for your body.
I mean, you eat well.
Yeah.
Like
eat a lot.
Like a lot of girls, like, you know, like they're like in general, they're like,
let me eat a salad.
I don't eat this. I don't want to eat this. But it's like you got to eat to like fuel your body.
To feed the muscle. Yeah. So I'm not afraid of carbs.
Yeah.
Not afraid of carbs, and that's what builds it.
There
and protein. But
of course.
Burgers every day.
Yeah.
Not lettuce wrapped either.
You need the buns. We need them buns.
You need the buns to get the buns,
we need that
baby.
cake for the cake.
A book that you would recommend for everyone. I don't know if you read it or not.
A book. I have my moments. Can I give two?
Yeah, of course. Give whatever you want.
They're not nutrition or fitness related, but I'm all about financial literacy.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously trying to build a life towards freedom. That's financial health is what I call it, is something that I'm very interested in. So, first book I would say is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
Have you read it?
I haven't read it, but I've heard a lot about it.
You've heard of it. Yeah,
of course.
Game changer. And then the other one would be Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins.
Also heard of it.
I've heard of Tony Robbins, obviously.
Yeah, really good.
Nice.
Well, everyone listening,
great books.
Read those books.
Definitely.
Movie that you recommend for everyone.
Recommend, I mean, I'm not sure if it would change your life, but it's a fun movie, is, what is it?
The Founder.
Not The Founder.
Is that the McDonald's one?
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
Hey, it's
Limitless.
Of course, huh?
Limitless.
Oh, Limitless.
That's a great fucking movie, too. I love that movie.
I love it.
The one where you tap into your brain and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
It's a pill, right?
It's a pill.
He takes the pill.
Yeah, it's not a drug movie.
Is that a fact, though? That we only use like
20%
of our brain?
Well, that movie was a metaphor for fucking Adderall.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
kidding.
I mean, I don't know. I only took Adderall once to help me study, and it didn't do me well. I ended up sleeping for like 6 or 7 hours after that. It wasn't my thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Is that what it feels like?
They gave you a Xanax. They lied to you.
Maybe.
They're like, here you go.
I was in biochemistry and history and all the hard classes. Like, I need something to help me.
Yeah.
But, that movie's dope. I wish it was real life.
Honestly, me too. Because imagine this. Like, even if you were to die sooner, like, the shit you would accomplish in that short amount of time would be like a lot more than what you would normally accomplish throughout your whole lifetime, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, this guy's moving at fucking time speed, bro. You know what I mean?
Insane.
Like, the way his mind is working, the way he's working, he reads a book in like 5 minutes.
You gotta have a gym by now.
Exactly.
Shit, the moment you'd walk out the store, you'd already own a gym. That's just how fast.
A gym.
That's just how fast it'd work.
That's crazy.
I would still be doing the things I'm doing now, but it would happen faster.
Way more.
Yeah.
First quote that comes to your head.
Quote.
Yeah, sorry, pardon my French.
In a literal sense.
I've never heard you say that.
No,
has a different meaning.
Well, like sometimes I don't pronounce things properly. So.
I'm paraphrasing a quote that like just helps me remember it.
That's
it
fine.
Goes. How does it go?
I think it's in your hat right now.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, probably. No, it's overthinking feeds fear, and action overcomes it.
I like that.
Feels fear. Action. Okay, I like that.
Right.
Overthinking creates fear,
So
and action overcomes
the
it.
last few
that.
years, because I've had to make some major switches in my life, I've had to overcome that fear.
Okay.
So that's like been my theme.
Yeah.
And
then actions.
Yeah, you have this fear, but just putting that action, like we were talking about, pushes you past. You're like, oh, I can do this.
I can
like,
do it.
100%.
Building that
That's
confidence.
the thing.
And
Behind
gain
fear,
momentum.
there's success. All the time. It's just waiting for you right there, just right behind the fear.
Perfect for the next question.
Yeah.
Your biggest fear.
Ooh.
Biggest fear.
Failure.
I'm not sure what my fear is. Probably failure.
Yeah, I can see it.
Can you see it?
No, that's why I blurted out failure. I think you're just so driven into like creating this person that you really want to be that if it wouldn't happen, you'd be devastated.
Yeah. I have a fear of complacency. So like living average.
Oh, yes.
Like not moving.
Yes.
I think the fear of failure, it can demonstrate itself in certain aspects, I feel. But I think for me, failure doesn't exist if you don't quit.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to say, like, it depends on what context and failure,
so I have
right?
to obviously overcome it.
As an entrepreneur, you'll fail all the time, but you'll keep going, right? Until it like hits right. And even then when you're successful, you'll still fail at certain things.
No, 100%. But I think, failure in a sense of like failing in something you really want to do and then giving up on it, right? Like fast. So here's the thing. Let's say you really want to do something and then you fail and you fail and you fail and then you randomly give up and then 10 years pass by and then you look back at it and you're like, fuck. I failed at this because I stopped doing this.
Right.
This is what I mean, right?
Definitely.
Then maybe that would be, instead of failure, it would be regret. Fear of regret.
Fear of regrets.
Fear of regret, I guess, yeah, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Not living up to my potential.
What's your biggest fear, Miguel?
Spiders? My biggest fear? Damn, dude. I think just losing my mom right now, bro.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest fear. I love my mom.
That's a fear for sure.
Mine, both of my parents, but yeah, my dad for sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with me, it's like I think I take my mom for granted like all the time. All the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just don't.
Yeah, you guys are.
And I just don't listen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like. Here's the thing, like I think I'm an okay son, but I want to be a better son, and I don't think I've been the best son to my mom. You know what I mean?
Listen, this I'm rude. Mom.
I'm rude to her.
Clip this and just
I am rude to her because she doesn't understand sometimes. You know, and I'm like, Mom, fuck. You know,
I am the way that I am.
Yeah, exactly. Not even that. It's like let me do something for myself. Like fuck, you don't have to babysit me all the fucking time. You know what I mean? And
but you're her child always. You know.
But here's the thing: I grew up super quickly, right? So I moved out of my house when I was 16 years old. So I lived on my own since I was 16.
Wow.
Exactly. And then my mom comes in like a year ago, and then she like tries to baby at me all over again. And I'm like, Mom, I'm fucking 28 now. You know, like that part of me already fucking vanished.
Wow.
And I know you're still trying to do this, but like, you know, like,
it's kind of
give me some room. You know, let me be responsible again because I miss being responsible. Yeah. I love it. You know, and whatever. My biggest fear is losing my mom.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Well, it's good because you're aware. You know what you need to do.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, what is your biggest fear, Alex?
I think I want to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Respect it.
It's a pretty big fear that I haven't shared with anyone, but.
Would you want to share it after the camera?
No. I've only shared it to one person, and that's Gabby.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would share it.
That's fine if you don't feel comfortable about it.
No, sorry. Yeah.
Cheers.
One thing you wish you enjoyed more.
The process.
Oh, okay. Like so I guess you're not as present, if that makes sense, in your journey.
Yes. I'm always looking forward. So just enjoying the process and something that I'm working on is just knowing that is the destination somewhat, right? That's the part of it.
Yeah, the journey is what we do it for.
Right.
Because in the end, like whenever like you succeed, like let's say you have your gym 10 years time, you're successful, you have $1 million, you still want more.
Exactly.
So you're still not done. You're never gonna be satisfied.
Not even that. The journey is fun though. Like you can really make the journey fun. Like even just having business meetings with someone that's fucking just has this great energy in him, right?
Totally.
Like yesterday we had a meeting,
and
like I walked in here feeling like I didn't want to come to this meeting. You know, I wasn't feeling it, but I left that meeting feeling great about myself. You know, so sometimes like the journey really does bring you up as much as it brings you down.
It does.
You know,
I would say when you're not in survival mode, it's enjoyable. When you're in survival mode, then that's when it's like, okay.
Yeah, survival mode is tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
So I'm
survival of the fittest, baby.
I'm kind of like walking around that a little bit right now, but it's just, you know,
the process.
It's the ebbs and flows.
Plus, I mean, like, I guess, like, whatever you feel now or whatnot, like, it's not going to last, right? Like, whenever you have your biggest, like, I don't know, failure, biggest L, whatever, it's never lasts. And I think I've also learned that from people that have come here and done podcasts, listening to them. Some of these people have like come on, like lost millions of like everything, lost all like everything, their houses, and then and now they're back here like 10 years later, like one of the most successful person. And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, because you learn from that. Like for me, transitioning out of dietetics and moving into this business, it somewhat kind of felt like a part of it was failing, just because like I, wasn't moving up.
Yeah.
I was shifting. And so I had to kind of like learn from that. Made me better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Amy, we're about to end the pod. Is there anything you want to tell people? Where can they find you? Any last words? All of it. Just plug it in. And this is your camera right here. Okay.
All right. Well, you can find me at Instagram @_fitwithamy_. What else?
Website.
I don't have a website. I kind of just stick to the Instagram, so I'm not tapping into so many things and having to manage that. But yeah, I have a fitness app, have a course, kind of help people get to their health journeys a little easier. So follow me, get to know me. If you want help, chat. Yeah.
There you go. Well, Life of Friends podcast presented by Vive the brand. Thank you for listening. If you could help one person listening, then that's all that matters. Whether we entertained you, whether motivation, whether you got some knowledge from it, just at least learn something.
Awesome, guys.
All right. Thanks for having me.